You made us hold on to the positive thoughts. Oh MINLA, you boosted us with your smiles. Oh MINLA, you've come so far, guiding us to the light. When all the hopes were lost in the dark, when the world was falling apart, you came ahead with a loving heart. When the minds were clouded and full of doubts, the world was in pain and negativity, you made us hold on to the positive thoughts. Oh MINLA, you boosted us with your smiles. Oh MINLA, you've come so far, guiding us to the light.
A global namaste, a good afternoon, a very good morning, or a very good evening to whichever part of the globe you're joining us from. Today, MINLA Zoom session is on its 57th Zoom session. MINLA, Meena, Kagram, and Lalit Soda. The two combined their efforts at the beginning of the COVID pandemic in March 2020 to spread the words of inspiration, motivation to keep people excited through the lockdown period who were actually going through a lot of mental trauma. We decided to conduct these sessions to inspire, to motivate, to excite people, to spread love, peace, and harmony. Today, MINLA is truly excited and delighted to have collaborated with the Hindu Council of Kenya, who are joining us on this wonderful session with an awesome speaker from India, a lady known as Peyushi Bhatia. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a top personality in life coaching, in business coaching. She has been an author, a public speaker who has been telling us so many good things and keeping us excited through this time. We are eagerly awaiting to hear from our lovely guest speaker. And before she comes on board, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about this wonderful speaker that we have today. Peyushi is a coach, a blogger, a motivational speaker, with clients ranging from top corporate executives, businessmen, entrepreneurs, to students and homemakers. As a life coach, she helps people with relationship and depression-related issues. She incredibly blends science into spirituality to create miraculous results. She is also an Arhatic yoga and practitioner of several modalities of neuro-linguistic programming known as NLP, angel healing, EFT, pranic healing, and Reiki. Using these tools, she helps clients overcome their barriers and accomplish life-challenging results. Our speaker has also been an introduction leader with Landmark Education. She gained deep insight in different aspects of human behavior and psychology and have learned meaningful ways to help people. Her work and expertise has been published and appreciated by reputed newspapers such as the Financial Times, Thrive Global, Medium, Times of India, and Impressive Times. She has also been featured on leading media channels such as CNBC, Disha TV, and more. And the shows have been broadcasted on several radio channels such as NGF, Radio 90.4, Manav Rachna FM 107.8, and My FM 94.3. She connects with the audience and guides people towards a better life through regular videos, blogs, and podcasts with relevant topics. She is the founder of Life of Joy School, which offers a one-year certified program for self-transformation and enables aspiring students to become life coaches and heal others. Absolutely something that we all need today. She's also a founding member of the Lifestyle Philanthropic Work Society that works towards education and social upliftment of underprivileged children, and Madhyam, which is a cultural society that promotes art and culture and gives budding artists a platform to kickstart their career. She's a BTech in Electronics and Communication from Manipal University and holds a coaching certificate from American School of Business Psychology. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the caliber of speaker that we have today. Aren't we all truly excited? Ladies and gentlemen, open up your videos and let's give her a warm welcome. Give us your symbols, your signs, whatever you can to actually invite our wonderful speaker all the way from India. Now, before the speaker actually starts, I would like to invite the chairperson, Mr. Kamal Gupta, who is the chairperson for the Hindu Council of Kenya, another individual who possesses great abilities and selflessly is dedicated himself to working for the community at large. He is the chairperson for the Hindu Council of Kenya, managing great society over there. And really, when we look at it and say, aha, Hindu Council of Kenya, chaired by none other than Mr. Kamal Gupta. Mr. Gupta, welcome to the MINLA Zoom session, and we would like you to be here and warmly welcome today our guest speaker and let us know a little bit about your organization too. Mr. Gupta, welcome.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Sudha. In fact, really appreciate the efforts which you and Meena are putting together throughout this pandemic. This is my honor as an individual and as a community also to have this kind of activity which are actually bringing people with the motivation. This is the toughest time what any community, any country, any mankind has already faced in, and we all hope that this pandemic would get away as early as possible so that we could start living good life and back to normal. We also as you all know that we start accepting this COVID as a new normal, but I think this is not the new normal. We have to come back, we have to start celebrating, enjoying, getting together with a normal life, and that is what we all pray together. But in this tough time, Meena Ben and you took such a great initiative to really help people to get back to and to really contain and strengthen themselves in this time. Hindu Council of Kenya is a unified voice for the community in Kenya. We have more than 150 institutions across the country, and we have our 5 branches across the country which are actually representing people which are some or the other way are with the values which we all always be proud of. Even today we were discussing in one of the platform, because 21st of September is a peace day, and that is primarily where we always stand by with the people in the belief of that we have to help community at large, because in our religion or in our belief, we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, means world is a family. And if world is a family, none other than we people can understand that how we can help people all together in a various ways. And that is what Hindu Council of Kenya did in last 2 years by helping indigenous community, by helping our own community, by providing so much of assistance wherever it is possible. But in the broader spectrum, if I can see and if I can proudly say that this community has remarkably put to the helping hand to the people, those are in need, those are vulnerable, by providing food, by providing various medical assistance and all. I think we should be proud that we are part of such a great community, and we are proud of that we have got some opportunity to extend our helping hand to our brothers and sisters, those are in need. This is another great initiative which you guys have taken to brought our people on the mode of containing together and making sure that we become strengthened from inside. We also do as a Hindu Council in the leadership of our Chetna Ben, that we provide prayers, and that is what every Saturday we do prayers by various member institutions come forward. They do their own prayer style, and this is all where we are actually doing prayer for the entire world. And that is what the loudness and that is what the openness, what we can see our members are bringing as a value for the others. As I mentioned that in this particular time of COVID, institutions and maybe every nook and corner in the country, we try to extend the helping hand. And that is also even until now we are trying to help through vaccination programs, through medical assistance, and that is something which is already on. So proud of being part of such a great team, proud of such a vibrant community in Kenya. I'm sure that you have already sensed through Meena Ben and through others that how active our community in Kenya is, and how contribution wise also we as a community are putting a lot of efforts and a lot of initiatives to bring our surrounding, our society as a good society and good human beings. So really appreciate all the efforts which are being taken by our members and our communities, our institutions, and a wonderful team of Hindu Council of Kenya. Aradhana Ben is consolidating various branches also to bring a lot of strength and a lot of togetherness. That is also something which is important, and that is how entire team is working of Hindu Council of Kenya to bring smile to the faces. That is something which I can tell. I'm feeling honored to also welcome Ms. Bhatia to be as a speaker on this particular session, because we are going to learn a lot from you, madam. And I'm hoping that everyone who is going to view, who is going to watch this particular session, and later also I've already seen that the recording is on, and I've already shared on Hindu Council of Kenya group page, that so many people will feel motivated after this particular session, and they will be benefited. So with this note, once again, thank you very much, Dr. Soda and Meena Ben, for helping us to bring such a great personality on this session, and really appreciate, we look forward that we continue doing such kind of efforts for our people at large. So thank you so very much, really appreciate.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamal Gupta. Thank you on behalf of the Hindu Council of Kenya. And I can also see the lady Chetna Ben Desai, who's also with us. So thank you for being with us. And thank you all the members who are here. Let me tell you one thing. I am so truly privileged about announcing one special thing that has happened today on the MINLA Zoom session. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were actually listening to the introductory song, that is the song that has been sung by a popular Bollywood singer by the name of Mohit Pathak, who has been a guest speaker on our MINLA Zoom session. He actually dedicated this song for Meena Ben and myself for the good work during the COVID that we have done. And he is an excellent Bollywood singer, a husband to a lady who also is a famous TV actress and a Bollywood film actress. So Mohit Pathak, thank you so much. We have launched this song on MINLA Zoom session today. We truly appreciate your kind efforts for Meena Ben and for myself. And so I'm truly excited about that. This song will be broadcasted live on all social media platforms. So thank you so much, Mohit Pathak. Ladies and gentlemen, this session doesn't get a kickstart unless we get the lady who runs the Zoom session, our none other than the Meena Ben Kagram from the Flamingo city of Nakuru. Meena Ben, the floor is all yours.
Okay. Peyushi, thank you very, very much that you have come to our session. This is a tilak, if you can see.
I can.
Yeah, and that's some jokha. And welcome officially. And this is for you.
Oh, so sweet. Thank you. I'm humbled.
Thank you. Global Jambo to all. Karibuni Sana. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Flamingo and Crater City of Nakuru, where Lake Nakuru is a famous for wildlife and flamingos. There is an old museum and there is a crater, now most famous for safari rally. Nakuru County is the one where world-famous fastest runners like Eliud Kipchoge and Lady Faith are born here. Did you watch our athletes on Japan Olympics 2020? We are #1 in Africa. My cute cousin Lalit and myself, Zoom MINLA, are super excited to welcome you all, those who have joined today in this Zoom session and on Facebook Live. Do share so everybody gets advantage. Welcome Hindu Council of Kenya, our main body for Hindus in Kenya. Welcome Chairman Sri Kamal Gupta and our Nakuru girl, Mrs. Aradhana Trivedi, branch coordinator. Thank you. Welcome to our chief guest, pretty lady Peyushi Bhatia. Can't wait to listen to you, your inspiring talk. Bibi Navwana. Let me introduce to our backbone of this session, MC, Dr. Lalit Soda. He is a chiropractor. He's a professional speaker. He is an author and he's a recipient of many, many awards, including the last award of journalist from Marwa. Humbly says, don't mention them. Thank you, Lalit. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Meena Ben. I truly appreciate all the kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, without taking too much of your time, we would want to listen to our wonderful guest speaker, Peyushi Bhatia. Peyushi, welcome. MINLA Zoom session warmly welcomes you with the traditional welcome as Meena Ben did, and a very formal welcome from the Hindu Council of Kenya. Welcome to MINLA. We'll give you a couple minutes, whatever you want to say, and then we cannot wait to listen to Life Beyond Fears. Oh my God, I am excited what you're going to share with us. So let's start off with a couple minutes of whatever you want to say initially, and then we'll engage in our conversation.
Okay. So, Dr. Lalit, I really want to thank you and Meena Ben and Hindu Council for inviting me here, for having me here. I'm truly humbled with the welcome that you're giving me and the kind of love I'm receiving from you all and this MINLA community. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And today I'm here to make a difference. And I'm sure whatever I'll share today will be concrete. Like you will take away some things with you. It's not going to be just a session. I am making a tall promise. Whatever people who are sitting here will take some value with them when they move out of this place today.
Thank you. That we're looking forward to that. And we are excited. When we were having a conversation and a chat and thinking, what should we name this show today? What is the title? And ladies and gentlemen, this lovely speaker came up with an amazing title, Life Beyond Fear. My God, what a powerful topic. And today we are going to be instructed to live a life without fear so that we can achieve whatever we conceive in our mind. Peyushi, we are truly looking forward to your advice, your words of wisdom. We will interact as you please, but the floor is all yours to share the information. Thank you.
Year 1988, I was at the Delhi airport and I was a bundle of nerves. I was horrified because flying horrified me. I was a patient of claustrophobia. I had anxieties, and more than that, I was horrified because my anxiety pill, which is Alprex, if you must have heard about it, was missing in my bag, and I could not board the flight without that pill. 45 minutes before the flight, I had to have that pill so that I can be safe in the flight. So it was not there, and I was all nerves. So I ran to the chemist shop at the corner of the one corner of the airport, and I said, Alprex, please. And he looked at me and he said, prescription, please, because it's a serious prescription medicine. We cannot be bought over the counter. I pleaded with him that I don't have one. Can you give me the medicine? He refused. My condition was becoming worse. In that condition, I boarded the flight. And the moment I boarded, I knew I was doomed because I was sweating. I was palpitating. I was almost in tears. I ran up to the air hostess and I said, can you give me a pill, please? Otherwise, if I die, it's on you. So, and I started using all the tactics that I could. So she coolly told me, she said, this is a wet towel and a water bottle. Go and sit there. I sat on my seat and I thought, this couldn't be happening to me. Lately, I was so much dependent on medicines. I have been taking medicines for everything. I was so anxious. If I left the home, I would leave with a pouch of medicines in my bag. And my relationships were not working. I was a dominating mother, and my relationship with my husband, my work, everything, my career, nothing was working for me. Nothing. And I sat there and one thought led to another. I thought about my mother. My mother was a heart patient, but trust me, she did not die of heart. She died of kidney failure. And when I say kidney failure, that's because she was taking a lot of medicines every day. I did not want this to happen to me. I did not want my children to feel what I felt my mother left. I wanted to be with my children for a longest time. That was the time when everything shifted. I thought, no, now this has to stop. I have to change. And I started looking around for somebody to help me. That's when I learned about how the brain works, how healings can help, how, our emotions have a role, what is spirituality, and everything started putting together and it started working on me. And my relationship started to improve. I started to love myself. And that's when my health also started to improve. My relationship with my children improved. For everything, wherever I used to get stuck, I would go and learn something new. That's when I found that everything is so related. Our mind, our emotions, our physical body, and our soul are so connected. And if we want to know about ourselves and we are connected to our own selves, that is when we can heal our own selves. We can heal our careers. We can heal our abundance. We can heal our, life. So I went from pillar to post, and trust me, guys, it was not present in one platform. For everything I had to go from pillar to post, right? So now when I got this information, I started applying on people. And that's when people got results, and I got myself certified from different organizations. And now today I'm working with people and helping them understand what's the barrier and helping them to reclaim their own power and start loving themselves. And it gives me great pleasure when somebody walks into my room and says, life has no meaning and I don't know what to do with it. And when he walks out, there is a smile on his face. That's the biggest, a gift which I get. So from this, as Mr. Lagit mentioned, I have a school now where I'm teaching people all this transformation, and I'm doing one-to-ones with people, helping them come out of anxieties, depression, and all that. And my journey started with learning about body, emotions, mind, soul, I learned about quantum physics because spirituality as such did not make sense to me. Why should I sit and chant? So I learned about what does quantum physics has to say about that. How does healing modalities help us? What does mind science do? What does soul, spirituality, holy scriptures, Upanishads, Vedanta, shamanism have to say about us? That's when I got his information, and from all this I learned one thing. All this I learned just one thing, and that is there are only two primary emotions which are running our life. And these two primary emotions are love and fear. So clients meet me with different problems. They come with different problems. They'll come and say, I have this problem, relationship problem, health problem. But at the very core is some fear. Some fear. Let's say they come to me and say, ma'am, procrastination ka problem hai. I don't know what to do. I don't want to do things. Do you know procrastination at the core is just pure fear of failure? And when you say people come to me and they have an abandonment issue, people are rejecting me, relationships are not working, there is a fear of rejection which is underneath all this. Let's say health. Okay, let's talk about how fear is impacting all your areas. So let's say health. So do you know the diseases are because of stress in your body? You must have heard this because so many speakers come to this platform. You must be knowing this. So underneath stress, actually underneath stress is nothing but fear. So when your body is not in homeostasis, your immunity goes for a toss. Hana? And when your immunity goes down, your cortisol levels, your adrenaline levels gear up in your body, which cause infertility, they cause aging, there are bias, bronchitis, diabetes, thyroid, so many problems. So fear actually contracts your DNA. It contracts your DNA, and 99% of your diseases which are happening to you right now in your life are not because of genes. It's because of stress. Do you know, I just wanted to share this thing. Do you know that your body uses glucose and not fat when you are in fear? So that means, if you think about this, that means you gain weight because cortisol goes down your it pulls down your metabolism. So metabolism goes down, and when your metabolism is down, you increase your fat. And that's when you eat less. You say, oh, I'm getting fat, so let me eat less. Now body gets another signal ki khana nahi aa raha. So it needs to have more food. So there is a shortage of it. So it further reduces the metabolism. And this is a cycle which is going on. And it is impacting your health. And then you can't sleep. You have insomnia, you have depression, and it all starts from our lower three chakras. So we have 7 chakras. So the lower three chakras are for survival. And when you are in your fight and flight, when you are in fear, when you are in fight and flight, lots of energy is being used by these lower chakras, and there is no energy left for growth, repair, and healing. And that's what is happening. Then you say, I have no time to meditate, I cannot communicate, and you are in a fight and flight, and you are thinking, oh, now it is time to run from the unknown. You feel it's time to run from challenges. What you are doing is you are giving the world, you are giving the worst case scenario for survival. So you have negative thoughts, and every thought you think, whatever thought you think, is creating a chemical, a feeling. So fear thought goes to the mind, secretes a chemical called cortisol, and this cortisol generates a feeling of fear, anxiety in your body. So tell me, guys, are you understanding what I'm trying to tell you? If you can, some of you can write in the chat box a Y or a no, so that I know what I am, where we are going. Okay, I can see one thumbs up, and yeah.
Yes, we've got people saying yes, they're enjoying.
Yes, nice. Okay, great. So then I was saying that I was talking about what is the impact of fear before I go on to how we can deal with it and how it is impacting our life, right? So let's talk about relationships. Simple example. Let's take a very typical example. Husband comes home. and wife fights with him. You are late, you are this and that, and everyday scenario at everybody's house, right? So both are unhappy. And you look at the core. They come to me and we look at the core. So wife, for example, wife had a father who used to come late and he had an affair. So she is operating from fear of abandonment. She is operating from a fear of not being loved. And the husband, who is on the other hand, is having a fear of being controlled. So now who's right and who's wrong? Same way, let's look at the money area. When you are in fear, you don't take risk. You undersell yourself. You do not ask what is your worth. You hold on to your money. You are so insecure about your money. You don't want to invest your money. You don't want to play or take a risk. You want to be in your comfort zone. So this is what has been happening in your life. Now you understand this is the impact of the money on your health, your relationship, your career, and abundance, everything. So today I'm here and I don't want to give you gyan only. I want you to carry something substantial which makes your life better. So now sit straight, fasten your seat belts. Let me give you an understanding about our enemy. Enemy means the fear. Only when we know how our fear operates, how our enemy operates, can we fight him. So let's understand how the fear operates. So understand, this is a very beautiful science, and if you understand how fear is impacting your life and how it is, what is it doing, you will be able to manage it properly. So let's say your brain has three parts. One part is the intelligent brain, right? Which is 80% of your brain, which is the conscious brain that you have, which is the neocortex, or you can call it the main brain, right? Every every creative thinking happens from this brain. So then another brain is the limbic brain, which is there to produce the chemicals. So everything that our brain does. So if my body has to digest food, what happens? There is a chemical which is sent to my body which digest all the food in my body. I don't have to do anything. So if I'm feeling attracted to somebody, that means resoprene, a chemical, is being secreted into my body. If I'm feeling love for my child, that means oxytocin, a chemical, has been released into my body, right? So everything is nothing but a chemical, right? Then the third brain is the primitive brain which we have. When I say primitive brain, it is your reptilian brain. Now, if you get this understanding how this reptilian brain is for survival, why do we call it the reptilian brain? Because a lizard is only looking for survival. So this is your survival brain. So now what happens? Let's say there is a danger in your life. If I ask you, what is the danger? Anybody, if you can tell me what's danger for you? What's danger? What do you mean by danger? What do you mean by danger? Danger means what? Something which is life threatening. Let's say there is fire, or maybe there is animal starts chasing you, or there is a speeding car, right? Yes, threat for life. So if there is a threat, that is what is a danger. So now if there is a danger, what happens? Your body suddenly produces a chemical which goes to your intelligent brain and shuts it off. So when you are in danger, your 80% brain is sleeping and your survival brain, which is your reptilian brain, is active. And now your reptilian brain, what it does is it's ready to fight and flight. So what it does is there are two very dangerous chemicals, stress hormones. Their names are cortisol and adrenaline. You don't need to remember that, but cortisol and adrenaline is released into your body. And these chemicals, they go into your body, and what they do is they prepare your body for fight and flight. They pick up all the blood, and all the blood is rushed to the heart, and your arms and legs have so much takat, they have so much strength that you can fight with anything. I remember a mother coming to me and she said, my son was under the car and I don't know where I got the strength from. I could lift the car and just pick up my son from there. That's the strength you get from these stress chemicals, cortisol and adrenaline, right? So these chemicals are released into your body. But tell me one thing, right? How many times have you encountered real danger in your life? How many times have you encountered real danger in your life? How many times have you been chased by a coyote or a lion or a bandar or anything? Or you have seen fire? Very rare, isn't it? So if there are no real dangers, but we are sitting in our chairs and there is COVID outside, the government is there, the economy is going down, and we are just sitting on our chairs and thinking about, oh my God, what will happen? Oh my God, if this happens, what will happen? Oh my God, if he says that, what will happen? So we are all the time in fear, and there is no real danger, but we are fearing, we are in worry. So for your brain, understand my friends, for your brain, there is no difference between the real danger and the imaginary fear. There is no real danger as such, but for your brain, this fear is danger. So the same thing is happening. The signal is the same. So your body is producing the same chemicals. These chemicals are shutting down your 80% of your brain, and your survival brain is operative, and cortisol and adrenaline are coming into your body, and they're increasing your heartbeat. They are, they're putting up your BP is high. And now what's happening? Your body is ready to fight and flight. But when you are in fear and you're sitting in your chair and worrying, are you fighting anybody? No. Are you running anywhere? No. Then this chemicals, the cortisol and the adrenaline, which have already come into your body, what do? They have already been released. गोली निकल चुकी है बंदूक से, so कुछ तो करेगी. So what does it do? Now, these chemicals, my dear friends, they start eating your white blood cells. And white blood cells means what? When your white blood cells are eaten up, your immunity goes down. And now you're prone to every disease that's there. So you are saying these are lifestyle diseases. Come to think about it, COVID times. How many people died of COVID? More than COVID, what killed people was the fear of COVID. Right? So it is the fear which kills people. So are you people getting something? Is it making sense? Yeah. So I can see Lalit putting up his thumb up. Okay.
May I request all the audience to actually do a thumbs up on the
See,
screen?
I love to have interactive sessions.
Yes.
So I want some people to just write on this thing. Is it making sense or not making sense? Because I really want to know.
So we have Parikshit Trivedi who says certainly making a lot of sense. Aradhana Trivedi saying great relation of immunity versus fear. Absolutely, that's correct. So yeah, we're getting a lot of good interaction here.
Okay, great. So let's say Rekha has put up her hand. Rekha, you want to ask a question, or you just saying that yes? Okay, absolutely yes. Thank you. Thank you for interacting. It gives me something to speak about. So if, tell me one thing. Let me ask you one thing. Why did God create fear then? Why would God create something negative? Why did he create fear? If fear is so bad and we are having so many problems because of fear, why did God create fear? Why? What is the reason? Why is fear there? Why is fear there? We have been programmed that fear is bad. Is fear bad? It's a natural emotion. It's a natural emotion. Actually, come to think about it, fear, is it not a protector? Okay, tell me, how is it a protector? So let's say when your child is small and you are fearful that he might put his finger in the socket, you put tape on the sockets, right? You put tapes on the switchboards. So these, or you put fences around your stairs. Is your fear not helping you to protect your child? It is, right? And it helps you to take up challenges. It's all about when fear comes, when you're taking a risk, when you're moving out of the comfort zone, that's when fear comes. Your success begins right outside the comfort zone. So fear keeps you out of the comfort zone. It keeps you in the comfort first. Oh, don't move out of it. There is fear. But fear is always there because of something which is unknown, which is something which is out of the comfort zone, which you haven't seen, right? Is fear a motivator? Think about it. Fear motivates you to work hard. It tells you, okay, maybe your preparation is not fully done. Put some more pressure. Don't you do that? Is fear a mentor? Think about it. Fear is a mentor. As a child, when you put your hand on a hot stove, what happened? You suddenly removed it. And now you got a lesson for life. What is the lesson? Now I will assess my surrounding and evaluate before touching anything. So fear is also a mentor. So people say fear is opposite of love. But I have a little different opinion. I personally feel that it's not so, because love is all inclusive. Fear is outgrowth of love. So let's talk about how many types of fears are there. So I have written a book on the fears, and the book's name is the same, Life Beyond Fears. So there are different types of fears. There is a fear of abandonment we all have. In the COVID times, we have a big fear of uncertainty. We have a fear of not being loved. We have a fear of rejection. We all have a fear of not being good enough. We all feel I'm not very good enough. You cannot be too thin or too rich ever, they say, right? So there is a fear of unknown, which is scaring us all the time. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen. Remember, so fear is not all bad. Like anything in reality, it has a positive and it has a negative. So positive is what? It gives us adrenaline rush to move out of danger. If there is danger, there is an adrenaline rush in the body and I'll just move out of the situation. So how now to turn the negative of the fear to the positive? That's what I want you all to take away from today. So let's talk about fear. So fear is actually a very contractive emotion. It begins with like a sensation in the body. So it triggers an old program in our subconscious, and the fear takes over our whole body. And if you think about it from the perspective of law of attraction, with this fear, we attract what we generally fear. Okay, my dear friends, let's take it in a different way. We are all energy. We are all energy being, and 0.0001% of us is matter. If you look at your hand, if you look at this wall behind me, it looks solid, but is it solid? If we look at this wall with a very powerful microscope, it is nothing but a vibrating energy. 0.001% is matter, everything else is energy. So in this matter, this matter in this space, which is full of energy, there are many possibilities there. Many possibilities. So if I have to tell you, we live in a universe of infinite potentials. So in fear, we are trapped in matter. That is, we are trapped. That when I say matter, that means the negative. We are trapped in the negative situation. And when you are in the negative, what will you attract to yourself? You will attract more negative. That means you'll go down the spiral. So fear is an emotion, I told you. Fear means it's an emotion. So what does it mean? If you look at emotion, emotion is energy in motion. If energy in motion, so let's talk about energy, right? If you get this concept now, I am sure you'll be able to make a lot of, you can take a lot of value from this. So energy has two principles which it works on. In science, in physics, they say energy has two principles, and one of the principle is energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Agreed? You all know that. And the second principle is it can be transformed from one form to another. So let's use these these are the laws of the universe. So let's use these on this emotion of fear. So moment something happens that makes us fearful, our first instinct is to get rid of this fear, to destroy this fear. But fear is energy. And I told you the first principle is energy can never be destroyed nor created. So it cannot be destroyed. But the second principle is it can be transformed. So just be aware, I am feeling fear, and this fear is false evidence appearing real. It is nothing but a story in my head. And my brain is scaring me, and there is no real danger out there. So danger is what? Is threat to life, like speeding car, animal, I told you like that. And that is danger. You're sitting and worrying is not danger, it is just fear. But now, how do you come out of it? Don't try to destroy it. As I said, the energy, first rule is energy can never be created, not destroyed. So stop trying to destroy fear. You cannot destroy fear. You cannot get rid of this fear. You can only transform it. And to transform it, the first thing you need to do is to actually get present to your worst fears. What is my worst fear? What is happening? Now, once you know this is my worst fear, now you can shift it, you can transform it. And how do you transform it? Slowly shift from being in fear. The opposite of fear is faith. So let's transform our fear slowly into faith. And how do we come into faith? You cannot directly come into faith. Now start thinking about right now in my life, in this moment itself, when I'm feeling so much fear, what is good about this situation which I cannot fathom or which I cannot think about? And the moment you start thinking about one thing or two things, what are good about in this situation, suddenly this thing will start changing. So antidote of fear is faith, my dear friends. And there are two sides. These two are two sides of the same coin. So fear, actually, you think about it. Fear is an expectation that nothing that you know will not happen. And faith is an expectation that you know will happen. That's the difference, right? So they are both expectations actually. So energy is same, only difference is the thought behind the both. So we are so overcome by fear that we don't feel that we are bigger than this fear. This small emotion, which is only a part of me, becomes so big that I'm so consumed by this fear that I don't allow and don't even think about it, that this is just a small emotion inside of me. And my brain is making up these big stories and scaring me. So it is part of me. It is not me. I am infinite. So fear is actually the result of ignorance. That ignorance is ego. Now, feel you are free. Let's think about when you were a 2-year-old. When you were 2-year-old as a child. Does a child have any fear? Children, when they are born, they just have two fears. And that is a fear of falling down or fear of loud noises. They have no fears. Every other fear is implanted by the environment, the society, the people, the parents, everybody implants those fears inside of us. So first of all, get present. These, whatever fears we have, these are not ours. These have been implanted from outside. And when you shift your focus from fear to faith and get your power back, that's when your electromagnetic field, your aura expands, and there is more energy available to you for you to heal and create more abundance and better future. So, should I give you one story? Okay, let's think about this story. You all know about Krishna and Balram, right? So Krishna and Balram are brothers. Okay, so Lord Krishna and Balram, they were once walking. They were going somewhere, and suddenly a big demon of fear came in front of them. And he started scaring Balram. And Balram was getting scared because it was a big demon. And the more uh, the fear of demon, the more he scared Balram, and the more scared Balram felt, the demon was becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Right? So he told Krishna, he said, I'm not able to take him. Let me go and get my gada, right? The instrument which he used to carry, right? So he went, and now this fear of demon of fear, it started scaring Krishna Bhagwan. So what did Krishna do? When the demon was scaring him, he took out his flute and he started playing his flute. And he closed his eyes and he was thinking about his gopis and his Ras Leela. At that moment, because the fear of demon could not scare him, So the demon was becoming smaller and smaller. What am I trying to tell you from this? I'm only trying to tell you that fear feeds on itself, right? The more you resist, the stronger it becomes. So fear is not the problem. The reaction to it is the problem. Get to take, this is the hidden message for us to know, right? Okay, so you have to understand one thing, that the body sensation of fear is same as excitement. We respond to as either. Okay, let's do a small exercise. I want you to take a practical experience of it. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes. And now think about, where is the fear in your body? Think about the fear in your body. Where is the fear in your body? Just see the fear. What is the intensity of this fear? Whatever is the intensity, just give it a number. Right? And now I want you to put your hands on your heart. And now think about the happiest moment of your life. The happiest moment of your life. When you felt very happy. When you felt, oh wow. The happiest moment of your life. When your child was born or they got married or whatever it was. Just think about it. And now I want you to think about another incident where you felt very happy. Think about another incident. The second incident where you felt very happy. Think about a moment when you were so proud of your own self. When you were so proud. A moment when you were so proud of your own self. When you felt very proud. Who all were there? What were you feeling? Just feel that feeling in your heart. Think about two things that you're grateful for in your life. What are the two things that you're grateful for in your life? Two things that you're grateful for in your life. Now, I want you to open your eyes, and before opening your eyes, look for that fear and what is the intensity right now. It's gone. It's gone. Why? Because you can only focus on one thing at a moment. Our brain cannot focus on two things. So either fear can live or love can live. So you have to remember, my dear friends, it's not easy. It's not very difficult to get out of fear. You just have to shift your focus. Whatever you focus on, because energy goes what we focus on. Remember that experiment we used to do in school, where we used to take a lens and put a newspaper in underneath and then direct the sunlight on that lens and that paper would burn. Whatever you focus on, that's the power of focus. Whatever you focus on, that grows. If you're focusing on fear and what's not working in your life, that will grow. And once you shift your focus to what's working in your life, what you're grateful for in your life, that will start growing. That's the simple experiment. And you know, we did not take more than 2 minutes. So that as I'm telling you, fear is not the problem. Our reaction to it is the problem. Okay. Now, so the body sensation of fear is same as excitement. Same. If you are feeling fear in your body and you're feeling excitement, the body sensation are same. है ना? So we can respond with either oh no or oh yeah. That's the, you know, that's the energy we can respond to it as. Like we are, like, have you seen somebody on a roller coaster? How are they? One person is very happy. Oh, yay! And the other is scared. There is so much fear. So one person is excited, other is fearful, but the same energy. So if I have to say, fear is excitement without the breath. So there's no breath. You're not breathing. Okay. So change your attitude, friends, towards fear and start calling it adventure. And you will enjoy it. Trust me. And if you start loving it and accept it just the way it is, maybe you will make friends with fear. And you know, Actually, this fear will propel you forward. It will push you out of your comfort zone. And you can use this fear to your advantage. So best thing is what you fear. And when you are feeling fear, feel excited and say ready instead of hiding from it. Use it for your advantage. Right? So my dear friends, think about fear as a fuel. You can either use this fuel to burn you, or you can use this fuel to propel you forward. That is your choice, right? So now I want to ask you something. Uh, should I give you a few quick hacks how to come out of fear? Very quick hacks. And one of two, the first one is deep breathing. Why? Because when I told you about your brain, that your brain goes into the fight and flight, and I told you about the reptilian brain taking over, but there is one thing which can control your brain, which can bring your brain back into the 80% cognitive. It can bring you back into the 80% of your brain, your intelligent thinking. How? Think about it. When you are stressed, where do you breathe from? You breathe from your chest. It's a very shallow breathing. Your chest is moving heavily up and down, right? So you're breathing heavily from the chest. But when you're relaxed and you're lying down on your bed, is your breath shallow or deep? It's deep. You have deep breathing when you're lying down. So only thing which has control over your brain is deep breathing. When you're deep breathing, your breath goes to your brain, and this breath, when it goes to the brain, it gives a signal to your brain that the master is in control. And now your intelligent brain becomes alive, because master is in control, intelligent brain is alive. And when the master is in control, body does not produce cortisol, because there is no fight and flight situation right now here. So the first hack is start doing deep breathing from your stomach. As a child, when we were born, we used to breathe from the stomach, but somewhere we forgot about it. We started breathing from the chest, and that's when the problem started. So now go back to the times and start breathing from your stomach. One thing. Another thing, have you all seen a merry-go-round? A merry-go-round. As children, we used to stand on play on a merry-go-round, and if the merry-go-round is moving slowly, what happens? Anybody can hop onto it. But if the merry-go-round is moving very fast, nobody can hop onto it, right? So in the morning, take your time and increase your speed, increase your momentum, increase your vibration. And how do you do that? Spend some time with yourself, do some meditation, go inwards, connect with yourself, do some chanting, do anything that you feel like, which connect to nature, go walk on the grass, anything, just connect. Spend that some time with yourself. Don't listen to the news. If you look at the newspapers or you look at the news, what are they telling you? They're only telling you what's not working, what's bad in this environment, what's bad in your world. They are not telling you what's good is happening. Why do you want to feed yourself negative? So stop listening to news or newspapers till at least 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and it will help you to raise your vibration. And if your vibration is momentum is high, nobody can hop onto it. And the third most important thing is, now we spoke about cortisol, we spoke about how to control the production of cortisol, right? We spoke about oxygen will help us to control the production of cortisol. But what about the cortisol which is already there in the body? How do you come? Because stress is happening at every moment. Somebody will say something, I'll be stressed. Somebody makes a face, I'll be stressed. Oh my God, he doesn't love me. Oh, somebody doesn't, somebody slams the door. Even if it was by mistake, it's like, oh my God, there's something wrong here. That is why this is happening. So stress is happening all the time and cortisol is getting secreted. Now, what do you do with the cortisol, which has already come into your body? So the only thing you can do is exercise. So when you exercise, what happens is this cortisol gets used up. So cortisol reduction is most important thing is to exercise. So I think these three hacks are very, very useful. If you can take these away with you and just try the deep breathing, work on yourself in the mornings, work on your momentum, work on your frequency. And third thing is start doing some kind of exercise. And think of your fear as a friend, a motivator, a mentor, and not as somebody who is here to scare you. Take fear as an excitement, replace it with faith. Fear is when we feel disconnected, when we feel I am the doer, there is nobody else who is supporting me. This whole universe is there to support you. Universe has your back, my dear friends. Just remember that. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, open up your videos. Let us give our lovely speaker a great round of applause. She has been wonderful in conquering fear or teaching us how to conquer fear. So excited, learned a lot. Fear, my goodness, it's just a false emotion appearing real. So true, isn't it? Let us find fear as an adventure and breakthrough. Fear, use it as a fuel to burn you or to propel you. The choice is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, what an amazing way to look at fear. Changes your perspective, doesn't it? Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Peyushi Bhatia. Truly enlightened. Obviously, when you come on our Zoom session, we love the wisdom that you share with us, but like all of us have some questions for you. Would you be okay if we asked you a few questions that have actually come up on the chat box and also some that have previously been presented to us? Is that okay with you?
Sure. I'm looking forward to the questions.
Absolutely. So there's a question that came up on the chat box, and this is from a phone called Galaxy A20. Don't know the name of the person, but the person is saying, I'm in COVID for the last 9 days. So why do I fear COVID? He has given a name, Mr. Dilip Jasani. There you go.
So the question is, why do I fear COVID?
Yes.
So, okay, I am in COVID for last 9 days. So why do I fear COVID? Okay, so as I mentioned, there are different types of fears. So one of the biggest fears that we have is the fear of uncertainty, fear of unknown. We have no idea what's going to happen. Okay, I have COVID for 9 days, I'm having COVID, but what is going to happen next? When I do not know, we all are actually control freaks. We want to have control of the situation. And when we don't have control of the situation, that's when our fear comes up. So right now, you are not in control of your health. You are not in control of the situation. So that is why you're feeling fear. Does that answer your question?
I certainly hope it does, Mr. Dilip Jasani. If any different, would you kindly put a message on the chat box? We are keeping a track of that. Coming from the chat box, once again, Peyushi, there is so many positive feedback comments that we've had. Thank you very much for lovely to learn this. Is it possible to watch this again? And if so, please give us the details. You can connect also with Peyushi Bhatia on her Facebook, on her Instagram. She's posting so many wonderful things. So please connect with her. Can we, Peyushi, can we have, if you can sound out aloud, your Facebook and your Instagram handles, and that way people can actually connect with you, or if you have a website, then please say that out aloud if you may.
So my website is www.peyushbhatia.com or peyushbhatia.in. Both are there. So you can find me there, and all my social media handles are there on the website. So I think it's a good idea if they visit my website or Google me, they'll find all my handles there, social media handles.
Sure. And the name is spelled Peyush.
Peyush. Peyush Bhatia. Bhatia.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, connect with Peyushi Bhatia on her website. You will get all the contacts from there. We've got some amazing question that came here. I have difficulty in expressing my feelings. How would you deal with that? Ambika says to everybody, she's asking a question.
So yes, Ambika, you have difficulty expressing your feelings. That means your throat chakra is somewhere, blocked. And it must be coming from your childhood, whatever happened in your childhood. So I think first thing first you need to do is you need to, first of all, there is a disconnection that you have with yourself. First of all, try connecting with your own self. Start loving yourself. And that is when you will not be fearful about expressing what's there inside. Because right now I feel there is a lot of fear that something will go wrong. What will people think about me? If I am doing it right or wrong, or all these things are coming up in the bit in between. I think work with somebody and work on what is holding you back. What is in your subconscious? What beliefs are you carrying? What is in your cellular memory that's there, which is blocking you from expressing your feelings? I'm sure this can be overcome. 100%. I've been working with people day in and day out on this.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that, Peyushi. The next question comes as how to overcome the fear of a calculated risk going forward, going wrong, ending up being an absolute risk. How do you overcome that fear?
Okay, so that's what I said, no? How do you overcome a fear? First of all, get it. First of all, first thing is, fear is false evidence appearing real. This has not happened. And there is no guarantee that this will happen or this will happen. We don't know which side it will go. It could be an absolute risk or it could be a calculated risk. Whatever it is, we have no idea. And what is the fear about? About this unknown. The fear is about this, this thing of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen. And how do you overcome fear? Any fear, just first thing is, fear can only have an impact on you till the time you are fearful of the fear. Start looking into the eyes of the fear. Look at fear and just see what is the worst that can happen. What worst will happen? What will happen if I am taking this calculated risk and it turns into an absolute risk? What will happen? I'll go bankrupt. Think about your worst fears. I will have no money to feed my children, or think about your worst fears. And now, when you have seen those fears, that is when this fear will start losing its grip on you. Then you can start, you can start taking other steps. So first thing first is come out of this emotion. It is just an emotion. And how do you come out? Change your emotion. As I said, it's just an energy and you can only transmute it. How do you transmute it? Now think about what is good in this situation. What's good about this? And slowly start thinking about what are you grateful for in this moment. And you'll say, I'm not grateful for anything. What's good? My business is going down. What's good about this? Okay, think about. Do you have your arms and legs? If I give you 1 crore rupees and I say, give me your arm, will you give me your arm? No. So can you be grateful for the arms and legs that you have, the eyes that you have, the house that you're living in, the everything that you have? And the moment like we saw, the moment you start thinking about what you're grateful for, slowly you will come out of fear. The game is to reduce the impact of fear on you. And this is how you come out of it. Right?
Thank you for sharing that. Make fear the minimum thing you can, the minute thing you can. Thank you very much for that. The next question that has come up on the chat box is, you shared your little story of the panic that you had on the flight, the flying phobia that you had. The question is, how quickly did you overcome that, Peyushi?
It took quite a time. It took a lot of time because, as I said, I was looking for techniques. I was looking for strategies. So then I realized, okay, I was thinking, okay, it has got something to do. I'm taking so many medicines. It's got something to do with my brain. So I started working with people who could teach me about the brain. Then I realized, no, brain ke alawa, there is something called emotion. I need to understand that also. So I learned about emotion. And when I was learning about emotions, I learned, okay, there is something called a physical healing. And there is an energy body that I have. So I learned about everything in bits and pieces. So it took me a lot of time, but trust me, now that I have the tools, and I know everything. I give everybody on a platter whatever they need. So it did take time for me. But now for me to heal somebody, to help somebody with depression or anxiety or with claustrophobia, it doesn't take time.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that one too. And the next one, a lovely lady called Nalinia Datya is wanting to ask a question. And she says, does prayer help to overcome fear?
100%. Prayer, what is a prayer? Let's think about that. Prayer is just a feeling. Prayer is, if people close their eyes and they are praying, means what? They are in the feeling of whatever they want. So if I am the feeling, I want to heal somebody, my son, and I'm praying for my son, means I'm in this feeling that he's already healed. And this feeling will, the moment when I'm praying, that means I am having faith in some power which is bigger than me. And when, as I said, the antidote for faith is fear is faith. So prayer does definitely help.
Thank you for sharing that one too. Fear, faith, absolutely. When you're in fearful situation, have faith. So God is always on your side. Thank you for saying that. The next question comes from a lovely lady, Aradhana. She is asking, is being emotional, is that harmful?
Okay, Aradhana, if you have, okay, let's say, if your husband gets hurt, or he has a physical pain in his body, or you have a physical pain in your body, what do? You take care of yourself, right? You lie down in the bed, you go and visit a doctor. But if your emotions are not in your control, you are feeling hurt or you are feeling pain, why do we start bashing ourselves for being that? Because we actually are human beings, and we have a physical body, we have an emotional body, we have a intelligent quotient, the IQ, the EQ, the PQ, which is the physical quotient, and the soul quotient, which is the spiritual quotient, the SQ. So all of these are important. So it is not wrong to being emotional. You know, we have been brought up in a society where being emotional, there is a wrongness attached to it. But being emotional is good. What are tears? When we feel like crying, what does that mean? There is something that needs to be released. Our emotions are stuck. We are filled with emotions still here, and we are crying. So something is getting released. So there is nothing wrong with getting emotional. I think emotional is good. At least they are able to release what they are inside of them.
Thank you for sharing that, Aradhana. I hope you get the answer to your question. And the next one comes from a very regular Zoom supporter with us, an audience who attends most of our Zoom sessions, Bhairavi Ganatra. Bhairavi asks a question. How do we overcome phobias? Example, fear of spiders.
Okay. So when we think about fear like this of spiders or dogs or anything, it could be coming from your past life. It could be coming from your mother's womb. There are many other things where the phobias could be stemming from. So you need to address the root cause of it first. And then it can be taken off forward from there.
Thank you. Peyushi, thank you for sharing that. Bhairavi, I hope you get your answer. And audience, I truly suggest get in touch with Peyush Bhatia on her website. Once again, Peyushi, would you repeat your website so that they can connect with you? It's
peyushbhatia.com.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, stick to that. Make sure you connect and get more of your questions answered. Look at her literature, look at her site, and connect with her. I have a couple quick questions over here. What exactly inspired you to become a life coach, a business coach?
Okay, so as I mentioned in my story, I never thought I'll become a life coach or a business coach. It was not in my radar. What inspired me was when I learned about all this, and I realized that it is not so difficult. And people are struggling a lot. People are struggling with their fears. People are struggling with anger issues. People are struggling in relationships. They have no idea what their true worth is, and they are not earning to their true potential. So that's when I decided I wanted to help people. I wanted them to understand what are the barriers, and to overcome these barriers, and then to reclaim their power and start loving who they are. That's the basic problem. We don't love ourselves.
And what was very interesting is when you started the topic today is love thyself. And that is a very strong message that you're sending out today, love thyself. And you said we don't love ourselves enough.
Exactly. We don't love ourselves enough.
How do you love yourself? Share that with us.
Okay, so loving myself doesn't mean vanity. I go and buy new clothes, or I go out and have a spa. That's not self-love. That is one part of self-love. So, but look at us. Okay, tell me, Lalit, if a friend comes to you and he says, "Oh my God, I am dealing with so and so," what will you tell him?
Meaning he's dealing with stress? Is that what you're
He's
saying?
dealing with stress. He's dealing with a lot of problems. Actually, he's dealing with the problems that you have. So, what will you tell him? You will
Let's go
console
out.
him.
Yeah, let's go out, have a meal together, and let's chat over. Let's talk it
Yeah.
out.
Right. But how do we do it to yourself? Like when we have a problem, we start bashing ourselves. We are not kind to our own selves. We are very unkind to our own selves. So the first rule of loving yourself is stop criticizing yourself. Because whatever you are doing in this moment or in any times when what you did, you were doing to the best of your knowledge. जानबूझ के कोई गलती नहीं करता. We all are doing what we feel is best at this point of time. So all the guilt, all the anger that we are carrying towards our own self is not self-love. So first definition of self-love is stop criticizing yourself. Second definition is, what do we do? Whatever happens, even if small thing happens, we make it big in our head. Our fears, people saying something to us, we make them big in our head. So all these things which we are making so big in our head, what are we doing? Are we not being unkind to us own selves? Are we not scaring our own selves? How much we scare our own selves? We scare our own selves all the time. And that's not self-love. Is it making sense? So I think if you only follow these two, you will start loving yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. So this actually takes me to my next question, Piyush. And it says, you came up with a wonderful title of your book called Life Beyond Fear. How did that title come about in your mind? Or what made you think that that's the one you want to use as a title?
Okay, so life, what limits us? Our fears are the ones that limit us, right? And if there is no fear, how would life be?
Absolutely
Life would
right.
be only a life of joy, living without limits. And that's what I wanted everybody to be. How is a small child? No fears at all. If you look at a 2-year-old, he is fearless. You put him in a car, where will he sit? On the steering wheel. He wants to drive the car and he'll say, I'll do it. And that's who we are, limitless. We are no limit actually. But how are we living our life? We have contracted ourselves. We are fearful all the time. We do not believe in our own capacity. We are infinite.
So nicely put, so easily said, but I'm sure the audience is finding a little bit difficulty, or people in general find it difficulty dealing with this concept, isn't it?
Because if you don't know anything, if you have no idea about anything, there is another world out there which we are not even aware of, right? So this is a different world. This is a different, and it is not difficult. It is not that we don't know. At the core, we all know this, that
Yes.
we are something bigger than this. We look at ourselves as something like, we think we are human beings having a spiritual experience. We are coming to MINLA, listening to all these good speakers, and we are having a spiritual experience. But is it not the different thing? We are actually spiritual beings, come onto this earth to have a human experience. Have you ever thought about it in that way? So if you look at yourself from a different perspective, your whole thing, actually we are living this life with colored glasses. So I'm wearing red color glasses. Oh, there's fear, fear, fear. There is fear on my fear glasses I'm wearing, and I can only see fear. And if I start looking, if I remove those glasses and wear my blue glasses, which are my faith glasses, the whole world changes.
Absolutely correct. Wow, so well put. So once again, very much into fear, and the next question goes on a similar excuse me, on a similar basis, and it says, lot of depression, relationship issues have come about in this current climate through COVID and post-COVID. A lot of people have suffered through depression. A lot of people have gone through relationship issues. They can't stand each other when they're in the same hall or the same room or the same house for a long time. How and what would you advise for those people?
Okay, so tell me one thing. Why did COVID come into our life? Actually think about it. If, let's say, this is a glass, or let's say anything for that matter, a pen. If I have to change this pen, if I have to change this glass, what do? I'll have to put an external pressure, right? I have to put an external pressure from outside to change the shape of this glass or to change the shape of this pen. Agreed? Right? So now we were, as a consciousness, as a collective consciousness, we were doing certain things which was not good for the environment, which we were harming. We were running in this life. We were very much concerned about everything which is outside of us. We were concerned about the life, earning money, running from here to there, vacations, putting pictures on Insta or on Facebook and all those things. But what about the real relationships, the karmic relationships we came down here with? We were not even concerned about that. So now what did COVID do? COVID was actually an external force which came in for our consciousness to raise. So everything that happened during COVID was for our benefit. Think about it. What did COVID do? It sealed all the borders. And we were forced to live with those people whom we have a lot of problems with. We were forced to live, and come to think about it, we realized that life is very simple. Life is so simple. We don't even need anything. What do we need? Actually think about it. What are we running after? Why are we thinking about ye watch, more jewelry, ye wo, and all that? Come to think about it, life is so simple, and that's what nature taught us. And when nature put us everybody inside, what did it do? It rebooted itself. So much greenery, butterflies, birds. You saw rare qualities of birds which came out. So is it a bad thing or is it a good thing? I think
Absolutely a good thing.
happened for our good, because the nature could reboot. I read somewhere that Yamuna river, which they were thinking to spend so much money, it got cleaned on its own. Isn't it amazing?
So true. Yes.
So I think COVID happened to us for good.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that once again. And as we see, when such topics are so inspiring, so motivating, time also clicks very fast with it. Time just flies so quick, and we rapidly approach towards the end of our sessions. However, I would like to ask you a couple more questions, if that's okay with you, and we'll make some rapid question, rapid answer, but the rapid round doesn't start as yet. So hang on for that. So my next question, which will give you a minute to answer that, what can one do when looking for a business coach or a life coach? What should one be looking for in that coach?
First thing is, whosoever you are taking as your coach, is his life working? Is his relationships working? So first thing is that I would suggest that if my coach's life, I'm hiring somebody to be my fitness trainer. What do I look at him? That he is fit. He has a fit body. He can pick up dumbbells and do this with ease. That's what I'm looking at. So when you are looking at a business coach or you're looking for a life coach, first of all, understand, is their life working? And whatever they are saying, are they walking the path? That's it. When I am saying my story, people can relate to it. Oh my God, if she came out of this thing, I can too. Right? So that's the first and the foremost thing that you need to see. And actually, you think about it. What is a life coach? What is a life coach? You know, every morning you get up, you are playing a game. Think about it. Morning you get up, there is a game of relationship that you're playing with your wife, your children. There is a game of money that you play when you go to office. There is a game of health which you play and do it, run in the park or go to a gym. There is a game of happiness you want. There's a sense of fulfillment that you want. So this is a game. So like in any game, a coach helps you to excel this game also. So game, life is a game. And if you are the player, I'm the coach.
Wow, I love that. And if you are the player, I'm the coach. I love that so much. And also, as you said, is he or she walking the talk?
Yes.
Does he walk the talk?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. One quick question that has appeared on the chat box from a wonderful, again, a supporter of MINLA Zoom all the way from Mumbai. He is a member for the Lohana Mahaparishad and his name is Mr. Girish Dresswala. Girish Bhai is also asking, he says, life obviously is a blessing of a guru, but he also says, does the fear get lesser or does it just go away?
It depends on how big your faith is.
Thank you for answering that. Okay, last question to you on the question and answer session. Let me ask you, if one is looking for your information on your book, Life Beyond Fears, The School of Joy, can this book, or where is it available if you share that on media with us?
It's available on Kindle. It's available on Amazon. It's Amazon's bestseller. It was there for bestseller for some time. So it's available everywhere. You can buy it from Amazon. It's all over the world, I think. Australia, Kenya, I don't know, but US and everywhere. So it's available.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Aradhana Trivedi from the Hindu Council, who's actually very kindly posted your website once again, www.peyushbhatia.com and www.peyushbhatia.in. This is information that is on the chat box. Aradhana, thank you so much for posting that for us. Ladies and gentlemen, do connect with Peyush, an amazing speaker that we have had. Very inspiring, very motivating, and most certainly has defined fear in such a beautiful way. She says, fear is false evidence or false emotion appearing real. I absolutely love that. Conquer your fear. Life beyond fear is a most amazing life. And she's here to share that with us. Peyushi, thank you so much for that lovely question answer session. As we said, time fast approaches to our very popular round called the rapid fire round on the MINLA Zoom session. Are we okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Peyushi, one kind request. The way we're going to make this very rapid is by me asking a rapid question and you giving even more a rapid answer.
Okay, I'll try my best.
So we are going to take about 20 questions in less than 5 minutes. Is that okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, the first question comes, the title, Life Beyond Fears.
Life of joy without limits.
Your favorite motivational speaker?
Joe Dispenza. I don't believe in motivation. I believe in transformation because motivation is very fickle. It comes and goes.
Define in one statement a life coach.
So as I said, if you are the player, I'm the coach.
Quantum physics.
Okay. Quantum physics is science of everything how everything works. It is actually a relationship between matter and energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The big one, COVID-19 pandemic.
It came to raise our vibration. It came to raise our level of consciousness. To
Wow.
alter anything, external force is required. So it came as an external force.
Who inspires you?
Everything in nature, everything, nothing stops. Flowers, trees, butterflies, children, unstoppable. So everything inspires me.
Wonderful. The term logic.
Logic, until and unless it is balanced with intuition, it will not produce the results that you want. And if it is balanced with intuition, it will produce miraculous results. It is the masculine, and you need a feminine for the creation to happen.
Thank you. Personal transformation.
It's like personal transformation. I would say a caterpillar to butterfly. I would say it is always about becoming a better version of you.
Wonderfully explained. Caterpillar to a butterfly. Lovely. Next one, spirituality.
Moving from fear to love, connecting to self, knowing that we all are one, and it's a journey.
Brilliant. Social media.
And when we say social media, actually social media is good. It's a source of inspiration, connection. It can lead to you can, it is a key. Only thing which I feel is the key to know when to stop.
Great. Neuroplasticity, the term called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity is like updating your computer. So our brain can adapt to new circumstances. There is nothing which is not non-renewable. Everything can be renewed. So your brain can be renewed. It's like updating your computer. It's not like, okay, I have these beliefs, I have to live with them. Neuroplasticity helps you to work on your brain cells also.
Thank you.
Neurons. Yeah.
The name Life of Joy.
The purpose of life is to be joy. It is not the cards that you're dealt with, but how you play the hand.
Brilliant. The next one, Arhatic Yoga.
So Arhatic yoga actually are spiritual practices, and they are used to accelerate your spiritual evolution. And these are very extensive purification exercises.
Thank you. The name of a person, Deepak Chopra.
I love this man. He blended Eastern and Western medicine, and he's an expert in mind-body medicine. And he generally talks about spiritual well-being, which I so relate to, and to bring about mental, emotional, and physical healing, which I definitely relate to.
Thank you. The term Madhyam.
Madhyam is my NGO, and we were a medium between artist and audience, and we used to give platform to the upcoming artists, and I really miss it because of COVID times. We haven't been able to do anything.
What is your ultimate goal in a short statement?
My ultimate goal is to create so many life coaches. I want every house to have a life coach, because I know if only one person can work on themselves and learn the tools and techniques of being happy, being joyful, and coming out of fear, they can make it. Only one candle is enough to light up the whole world, whole room. So one life coach per house is what I'm looking at.
Thank you. Your favorite pastime activity?
As I said, I'm very close to nature. I love nature. So I love gardening, and I also love reading books.
What does yoga mean to you?
Okay, so yoga for me is not only the asanas which we do. I believe in the Ashtanga yoga. Ashtanga yoga is the 8 limbs of yoga, which starts with yam, niyam, asanas, pranayam, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. So it means actually, yoga actually means to join or to unite. So it's uniting you with your higher self.
Brilliant. Last but not the least question is meditation.
Okay, meditation is not something which you do in the morning and say, oh, I'm done. It is a way of life. It's about awareness. If we sleep, that is unconscious meditation. And what is meditation? It is conscious sleep.
Thank you for saying that. Meditation is a conscious sleep.
Yes.
Lovely definition. Last question. Dr. Lalit Soda's rapid fire round.
Very intelligent, fun, and crisp.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Peyushi, for playing the rapid fire round on the MINLA Zoom session. This brings us almost to the end of our session today. Life Beyond Fears with Peyush Bhatia. Ladies and gentlemen, wasn't that an amazing session? Once again, open up your videos. Let's give Peyushi a very big round of applause. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. If we were in a live audience, we'd be whistling, we'd be screaming, we'd be shouting, and we'd be enjoying this session. So here, at least give us your wonderful clapping session. Wonderful. Now we go fast towards our end, and we have the lovely lady, Aradhana Trivedi, a branch coordinator from the Hindu Council of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one thing I picked up about this lady. She is fast working in the COVID environment rapidly, doing a lot of work for the council and promoting a lot of good well-being thoughts, well-being activities, and giving her job a huge responsibility and a title. Aradhana Trivedi is currently in Kenya, and she, on behalf of the Hindu Council of Kenya, is going to say a few words of thanks. Before I let you do that, Aradhana ji, I also wanted to say that we had a lovely message on the chat box by one of the doctors, Deepa Modi, who has also been talking a lot about COVID and informing Gujarati patients, all kinds of patients, but certainly come on many Gujarati Zooms and inform patients about the benefits and how one can go through COVID and the vaccine process that they had. So thank you, Deepa, Dr. Deepa, for being with us again. Aradhana ji, this is all yours now. On behalf of Hindu Council of Kenya, we would love to hear a vote of thanks for our guest speaker.
Thank you, Minla. I'm out of words right now. Many things have been learned today. Fear feeds on itself, so don't react. There is a life beyond fears. Shift the focus to reduce the fear. Breathe. Learn to breathe from stomach. We all had forgotten that. Thank you, Peyush Bhatia, for bringing it back to us. And it was a great learning. I'm enlightened to thank such a great life coach. And also not only a life coach, but she is generating so many life coach. She has certification courses. And as she rightly said, there should be one life coach in a family. Definitely. Right now, we all always think that my son should become an engineer, my daughter should become a doctor. But now we should broaden our view and we should think of having a life coach in the family. It really works. We all know many a times, but there should be a motivator. There should be the life coach at the end of the day to help us in understanding what we already know, bringing the truth in front of us. On behalf of Chairman of Hindu Council of Kenya, Managing Trustees, and all our MC members who have also joined us, we would like to take this opportunity to thank Ms. Peyush Bhatia on the topic of life beyond fears. Definitely, it has left a great impact on all those who joined, and definitely all those who will be also listening to it. Many of times, certainly one has to break the shackles of fear and move on the life. The COVID-19 pandemic has induced the lifestyle changes, and one needs to have a paradigm shift in the methods of overcoming the fear of change. This has been very well explained by Peyush, and once again, we thank to you, her, and for such an enlightening talk. We also would like to thank Meena Kagram and Dr. Lalit Sora for allowing us and coordinating along with Hindu Council of Kenya. And we would like to thank all the participants who joined and had the questions. Definitely, this is going to change our lifestyle. We need a life coach. Thank you, Peyushi Bhatia. Over to you, Mr. Lalit.
Thank you very much, Aradhana ji. You have given a wonderful vote of thanks summarizing everything that Peyushi Bhatia has said today. And we really, really appreciate her presence today. And we thank Hindu Council of Kenya. Peyushi ji and the audience, may I say this session doesn't come to an end till we get our teenage lady who actually comes and rocks this session and bids farewell to it. So may I request our young lady, Mrs. Meena Ben Khagran, to formally bring this session to an end. Meena Ben, it's all yours.
Good evening, everybody. As Aradhana said, I don't know what to say. Dear friends, this is my pleasant and humble duty to end this session with the heartiest thank you. My big thank you to Rakhi, our family friend, and my daughter who have made this session possible. Thank you, Peyushi Bhatia, who has just inspired us with her inspiring words. And Asandi Sana to all viewers on Facebook Live and those who have joined us on Zoom. Can't end my thank you without saying thank you to my cute cousin, Dr. Lalit, and our co-host, Ellie.
Hi everyone.
Hello, Ali.
Hello Lalit. How are you?
Habari Yako, thank you all. Stay safe. Now we will be ending our session by keeping you, stay there. We are going to put you all online and unmute yourself. We are going to unmute you as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we go unmuted and Meena Ben is doing her little IT session there, I just want to inform you, join us on